We continue to get you ready for the conference opener, Florida State this week. Brian Higgins, Matthew Bergeron, and you guys are pounding the rock here, running the ball the last few weeks for a big offensive tackle. How much fun is that?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Having Tuck out there running, it's just beautiful seeing him run. Like when you watch film the next day, it's just that's what I was telling everybody. It's like art. Like Tuck is just nice to see you run and making guys miss and going in the end zone. Yes. It's a nice place.
I'm intrigued for you as a lineman. I mean, we always think about the idea of Coach Babers and tempo and got to go fast, got to go fast.
Yeah.
And that's not really what you're doing right now. You're doing something different. What was the transition like between those two ideas?
I felt like throughout the whole games, we built confidence and we just stuck to the game plan. No matter who we playing, we're just gonna stick to our game plan. And we playing Florida State, and we're just gonna stick to what we're doing.
And that is running the ball right down people's throat here. You mentioned Tuck. He's having a phenomenal season so far. He doesn't like saying nice things about himself or anything at all about himself. Well, what can you tell us about Sean Tucker?
He's all about business, man. When he's on the field, he's just business. You guys haven't seen him doing celebration. He's a real serious guy, but when we're in the locker room, he's a lot of fun, yeah.
Do you linemen, do you need to start celebrating his touchdowns for him or something, just so somebody can do it out there?
I mean, we started doing it a little bit because, I mean, fans want to see Tuck dance, but he doesn't dance. So, I mean, I got to do it. I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
All right, we'll get Matthew out there, maybe celebrate in Tallahassee this week. And when a guy's having a season like that, what's the relationship like between running back and offensive line when it's working that well?
Oh, it's all about communication. When Tuck sees something wrong with the line, he's going to come up to us and be like, oh, that and that was wrong. And when we see something on defensive front, we're going to talk to him, and it's a great communication.
And how much does it help when you mention, hey, he's all about that business? So he can come tell you probably what he needs to say and get it done pretty quick during the game.
Yeah. So he's going to come on the sideline when we come off the field. He's going to be like, man, I need you to do this and that, and I'll just do it. And I'm like, yeah, because he's all about business, and it's been working so far, so I'm excited to get to next week.
I'd say business is good right now when it comes to that. On the line, you guys kind of shifted it around a couple weeks ago. Aaron Service goes back to center. How did that change what you guys were doing to get Aaron back in the middle?
I think Service is back to his natural spot. Like, he just looked natural out there snapping the ball and all that. So we're pretty excited, and everything's been working good so far. And we got 6 guys in rotation, and we all can work with each other no matter who's playing where. I think that's a great part of it.
We've seen both quarterbacks play this season. It was all Garrett this last week, and we know he's a bigger guy. He's more willing to take off and run. What is the difference like for you as a lineman, blocking for Garrett versus blocking for Tommy, when you probably know Tommy's in the pocket and Garrett can take off at any time?
Oh, yeah, the thing with Garrett, he might take off wherever and whenever. So you just got to be ready. You got to sustain the block. And when Tommy's back there, you got to sustain the block to give him time to throw the ball. So it's different, but no matter who's in the backfield, we're going to block our guys and make it happen.
All right, Matthew, I want to ask you, going back to growing up playing football, you're from Quebec, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's plenty of football up in Canada. There's a league up in Canada.
Yeah.
But for you, coming here, what was the transition like from, Canadian youth high school football to playing major college football?
I think the major part of my transition was language, like get used to speaking the English and doing homeworks, and even football. There's certain terms that when Coach Cav was here, we used to talk, but we didn't understand each other. And I think I made a lot of improvements. My English got a lot better, so I'm excited. Yeah.
I'd say some people say language, and they might mean the language of the sport. I mean, you literally mean the language, right?
Yeah, the language. Because my first language is French, so I learned English the same way you guys learned Spanish in school as a second language. So when I got here, I only knew the basics. Yeah.
My goodness, I hope you learned it better than I did. It certainly sounds like you have here. Well, when you look at the actual football, is it a lot different, or did your skills translate pretty immediately for you?
It wasn't a lot different because I feel like for offensive linemen, blocking is the same way wherever you're playing. There's not a difference. Like in Canada, the field's bigger, but it doesn't change nothing for me from a blocking standpoint.
Yeah, well, the field's a little wider up there, right?
Yeah, it's wider, bigger, and we got an extra guy out there, an extra receiver, so yeah.
And here you are, ACC play. You guys are 3-1 right now. What's the feeling like in the locker room at this point?
Everybody's just locked in on the next game because it's a big game for us. And Florida State got a lot of great athletes, a lot of good guys out there, so you can't sleep on them never. And I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, you say it. Florida State's 0-4, which just doesn't sound right with them. When you're preparing for this game, you're watching tape. Are you still seeing those guys out there, those NFL guys that you're going to be playing against?
Oh, definitely. They got a great front. They got a great DN out there, so you can't come in there thinking that you're going to win just because they're 0-4. You got to come in the same mentality that you came in with the past few games, and that's the mentality. We're going to run the ball regardless.
All right, Matthew, good stuff, and keep it going this week.
All right, thank you.
Matthew Bergeron, we'll see him in Tallahassee on Saturday afternoon.